The funny things parents do to make their little ones smile. And what a smile Zhu Miyang has.
She is the joy of my life.
When Li Haiying and her husband discovered they were having a girl 2 years ago, they were ecstatic.
The Chinese culture traditionally favor boys, so when you have a girl, couples will sometimes have an abortion, but not us.
Zhu and Li Hai, both Christians, are not alone. More and more Chinese families are beginning to reconsider the centuries-old preference for boys.
Boys are desired because they will support and look after the parents in their old age. Also, boys have a better chance of finding work and supporting themselves. But people's attitudes about this are changing.
Especially when it comes to the role of women in society and their ability to thrive in a predominantly male culture.
I own my own business here in the city and I'm able to provide for my family. So unlike in the past, today more women are getting an education and they are entering the workforce and doing well.
For Zhu Wenhao and growing number of families, having a girl is seen as a huge savings on the family budget.
If you have a boy, the parents are responsible for buying him an apartment before he gets married. Add to that the cost of educating him and all the other expenses, it adds up.
When a baby is born in China, it's quite customary to get a traditional outfit. Here's one for the girl, and here's one for the boy. You know, the concept of having girls today, especially in the big cities, is prevalent in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and so forth. But in the countryside, the overwhelming majority of people still want a boy.
And because the traditional preference for a male offspring is still so strong, Chinese women continue to practice sex-specific abortions, especially in rural areas. The result is a severe gender imbalance. Decades under the controversial one-child-per-couple policy has left China with more men than women.
The government's attempt to keep the birth rates down has been a huge success, but the consequences of this social experiment are devastating.
A Chinese government-backed study says in the next 20 years, there will be more than 24 million men of marrying age unable to find spouses. In fact, in some parts of the country, the male-female ratio is so acute that women and girls are kidnapped from neighboring countries, brought into China, and forced into marriages.
The one-child policy has contributed to this problem, and that needs to change. But it is only half the problem. We have to change people's view about just having boys.
The Chinese government is trying to gradually fix the problem. Earlier this year, authorities reduced the fines for wealthier couples living in Beijing and Shanghai wanting 2 or more children. There's also discussion about changing the one-child policy within the next 5 years. Welcome news to Zhu Miyang's parents, who are part of a new generation of Chinese couples whose expectations of a family have changed.
I cannot afford to have another baby just yet, but definitely down the road in a couple of years, it will be nice to have that option. But for now, we are very thankful to God for our baby girl.
George Thomas, CBN News in Beijing.